Well, actually, into today's video, we're going to the weekend forecast today, having a detailed look at whether the next 7 days across the British Isles going to start off quite cold, and then it's going to turn a little bit less cold and perhaps even quite mild by the time we get through towards the end of the week. Quite a changeable week coming up. Before I get on with that, just say about the ads, there's links to articles most pages at gasworthers.com. Have a browse through widgets. Any articles that you're interested in, please click through. You have to read those articles, and thanks very much for doing that. So this is the latest radar picture from the weatheroutlook.com, and you can see the link to the Weather Outlook on my links page. You can find it there. Bit of dampish, sort of showery morning with patchy rain and drizzle across the country this morning. Most of that is fizzling out now, and then we've got this heavier rain. I'm sure you can see it quite clearly coming in across Ireland and far western fringes. This is a developing area of low pressure that will be with us later on today and overnight. Here's today's Arctic pressure chart from wetcentral.de. Find a link to Wet Central on my links page. Low pressure is developing out to west of Scotland and it's bringing quite active weather systems in from the west. So the dampness that we've had across central parts, southern parts through this morning, is going to fizzle out. It'll be quite a cloudy afternoon, but there will be chinks of brightness coming through. And it will get quite mild in any brighter or sunnier breaks. The temperature up to 10 or 11 degrees. But out in the west, it's going to be going down here. Wind will be fresh in. There'll be heavy rain, excuse me, arriving on the western side of the country through the course but this afternoon. Feeling cool as the wind freshens in the west, but generally it is quite a mild day. Quite an active weather system coming across the country tonight. Low pressure to the north of Scotland, so you're going to find outbreaks of rain spread across many parts of the country tonight. Particularly this evening will be very wet for a time, especially in the north, driven on by a strong wind, so wet and windy tonight. By the end of the night, though, most of the persistent rain should be out of the way, and then we're going back to clearer spells and blustery showers, and those showers will turn increasingly wintry up in the north of the country, with the risk of some significant snow over high ground of Scotland. Temperatures holding up above freezing with the wind and the rain and the showers. Now, as we go through into Sunday, we're going to find a little system coming in across England and Wales. So that's going to sort of merge the showers into longer spells of rain. So through Ireland, England and Wales, and particularly central southern parts of England and Wales, is going to, after a bright start, turn wet through the course of Sunday. We've got some quite heavy rain coming through during the course of Sunday afternoon. Now, depending on how far northwards that rain gets on its northern edge, it could turn to sleet or snow. I'm not sure if it's going to get up to northern parts of the Midlands, North Midlands, North Wales and southern parts of Northern England, say the Peak District. If it does get that far northwards, there is the potential for snow, but this could be trended further south, and if it is just the central southern parts of England and Wales, then sleet or snow is going to be unlikely. Further north of that, as you get through into Northern Ireland, Scotland, and the north of Northern England, if you like, so say Cumbria, places like that, Northumberland, we're likely to be seeing sunshine and wintry showers up there, and some of those showers will be heavy, giving some quite prolonged snow to the hills and mountains of Scotland. Temperatures in the south still technically mild at 10 degrees, but in the north it will be colder at just 3 or 4 degrees. That persistent rain with the risk of a little sleet or snow on the northern edge clears away overnight, Sunday into Monday, and then Monday we're into a regime of sunshine and wintry showers. You can see the westerly wind coming in here across the country, quite a cold wind. So most of the showers will be in the north and the west, where they could give significant accumulations of snow over high ground. Some of those wintry showers will push through into central southern parts of the country and into the east, but more scattered in those regions, although there may be some sort of disturbance running across the south again later on Sunday, on Monday afternoon into Monday evening. That could give just a little bit of a risk of some sleet or snow over higher ground, but generally the snow risk is further north and west. Quite a cold day on Monday with temperatures just 6 or 7 degrees in the south, something like that. In the north, just 2 or 3. It will be feeling quite chilly for all of us. As we move through into Tuesday, it's a cold, showery day. Again, there could be some more persistent outbreaks of sleet or snow across parts of Scotland and northern England. Otherwise, it's sunshine and wintry showers. Temperatures just 6, 7 or 8 degrees. Going through into Wednesday, the high pressure is bridging in off the Atlantic, so things start to calm down on Wednesday. There could still be some wintry showers left in the north and the east, but many places should be dry by the middle part of the week. Temperatures, though, are going to be on the chilly side. There'll be a hard frost early and late, and temperatures by day probably up to around 7 or 8 degrees. And then as we get through into Thursday, time to re-establish westerly winds then. So we start off with a hard frost on Thursday morning, then cloud and outbreaks of rain will spill in from the Atlantic. That rain could be preceded by sleet or snow for a time across the Scottish mountains, but generally it's rain moving down across the country. Temperatures still quite cold in the east at just 5 or 6 degrees, but lifting up eventually in the west to say 9 or 10, 10 being 50 Fahrenheit. And then a completely different regime as we go through into Friday, bringing this westerly through across the country, so it'll be a good deal milder. Outbreaks of rain in the north and west, many central, southern, southeastern parts of the country, probably mainly dry, close to that ridge of high pressure. Going to be some sunshine. Temperatures possibly up to 10 or 11 or 12 degrees by the end of the week. That's into the low 50s Fahrenheit, and we keep that mild but changeable weather going through into next weekend, with rain particularly in the northwest, but a lot of dry weather down in south and southeast. Temperatures could be popping up to 14 degrees by next weekend, 57 Fahrenheit, a taste of spring. Finally, have a look at the charts from the weather outlook, so you can see weather in your area. Here we go for day. Lots of cloud across the country, but rain coming into the northwest, spreading across the country through the course of this evening. As we get through into Sunday, well, we've got the wintry showers up in the north, and eventually parts of England and Wales will turn wet, and depending on how far north that rainfall gets, we have got risk of some snow on the northern edge. If it gets to the North Midlands, if it gets to North Wales and the Peak District, there could be some snow. Further north of that, it's wintry showers, very wet in some central southern parts of England and Wales. Wintry showers as we move through into Monday. This is suggesting the chance of a more prolonged spell of rain, sleet or snow coming across the south. Not sure about that, but lots of wintry showers up in the north. I'll be updating Snow Watch anyway over the next few days, so we can sort of pin this down about what's happening at the start of next week. Sunshine and wintry showers on Tuesday. Moving through into Wednesday, things will be calming down as high pressure begins to ridge in, and then after a frosty start, cloud and rain spreads across the country on Thursday. By Friday, we're into a westerly, southwesterly flow, rain up in the northwest, main dry in the southeast, and temperatures lifting up, becoming very mild by next weekend. So in summary, we're going to be in for a changeable week, starting off cold with wintry showers, drying out midweek, but with overnight frost, and then milder, wet and windy by the end of the week. That's it for now. Thanks.